Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special Summerslam Weekend Non-Summerslam Preview edition of One Nation Radio. I am the main host this time, James Boyd. The tables have turned, and I'm with Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just sitting here ready to get to it.
About that action? Not much
about
to say,
that
boss?
action. You know,
Okay.
yeah, it really got too much to say. I ain't going back and forth with all y'all.
Okay, Duval. All right, and also with us for the journey, the ride, if you will. I'm talking in terms of Triple H speak. I have with us Tom Gambadella. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. I am staying as far away as I can from this Giants preseason game, and just looking to talk about some things I actually enjoy watching, such as wrestling. So let's get into it.
Okay. So, quick question.
Yes, sir.
What, just to gauge on where you are on the main roster as far as like where they've been this year, let's say the last couple of years, or even at least, well, forget that part. Right now, Giants preseason football, or New York football Giants preseason football, or the main roster?
Those are my only two options?
Yes.
Oh, God. I think I'm watching Giants preseason football.
That's wow. Wow.
There's a chance I see something that I haven't seen on Giants preseason football. Main roster, I know what is going to happen, and I know I'm not going to like it.
Wait.
So this is a stark contrast from what Dave Finisher was telling us. Was Dave leading us on? Was Dave hoodwinking us?
I mean, you got to think. He was really positive. To be fair to Dave, he was really positive about the things that ultimately did not make the cut for SummerSlam that we thought at the time could possibly. Like Aleister Black, Sami Zayn, didn't happen. Mustafa Ali, Nakamura, didn't happen. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, not happening. Right? So, to be fair to Dave, he kind of got fucked during this whole thing. Like, if he had known that Vince was going to go out there and say, yeah, like,
never
three
mind.
of the top, like, 6 matches that we could have as far as, like, the level of talent in the ring, nah, get that out of here. Like, you also said they possibly could have done Andrade versus Ray. Nope, we got that on Raw. They had a 4-star match on TV, and we ain't seen their ass. They said, nope, can't be having none of the great matches. Get that shit up out of here. So, yeah, so I'm still surprised that Tom said, nah, give me the Giants preseason football over.
Give me the Giants preseason football.
Damn.
The Daniel Jones experience.
The only person that is obsessed more with look than Vince McMahon is John Mara.
A classic show already.
Yes, it's not even, and with him, it's not even about, okay, height in a look. It is literally like, nah, I got a picture of Eli in my pocket or in the iPhone. Let me just put it up next to you.
He's literally like, wait, you use your nose to breathe? Nope, you're out of here. No,
Yeah.
we need mouth breathers only under center.
Like, they should have called Cooper. You know, Cooper is
Could have got a
like,
check.
Cooper is damn near 50, but, you know, he looks like a Manning, right?
Whole lot of forehead.
Yes. Up there
Wow. Okay. So.
and back there.
Oh, man. Shout out to Coop. Coop, you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure I've only just from watching interviews and stuff. I'm almost 100% sure. I'm like 98.5% sure that Cooper is the actual cool Manning sibling.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, the other two could not be less cool.
I mean, there are levels. There's Cooper, then there's Peyton, then there's like a whole like thousands of feet and yards, and then there's Eli. But let's just move on from there. Okay, so since we're doing this preview on all the stuff that's covering SummerSlam weekend, that's not actually SummerSlam. We did that on the last show of One Nation Radio, so we're gonna just fill you guys in with the next stuff, the best of the rest, or actually the best. But so let's just say we'll give you the best stuff from this weekend. So we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about the last 3 nights of the G1. So guys, that'd be night 17. Night 17 is pretty much a final. Everyone's eliminated except for Ibushi, my God, Ibushi and Okada, and it's a play-in to get into the final situation. What are you guys' thoughts on that match, and what do you guys as far as predictions? What do you guys think?
Tom?
I don't know. I've been thinking it's going to be Ibushi from the beginning of this tournament. My takes have not been out there very publicly, but I've been thinking he's going to go to the finals. My pipe dream is that he's in the Dome headliner this year with 2 nights of Tokyo Dome shows. I'm definitely kind of believe it when I see it at this point, just because wrestling has conditioned me to be let down sometimes.
Oh.
But I believe in New Japan. I believe they will give me what I want, and I believe the Kota Ibushi will win at least the A block.
Okay, Rich?
Yeah, I'm there with you with Ibushi on the A block. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Okada won because, I mean, it's Okada. He always wins, or in the end, he wins. This is his promotion, ultimately. But Kota Ibushi is, he's been, since Wrestle Kingdom 9. Out of all the people that are left, it's like, all right, when's his Dome main event now? And it feels like it's his year. And, I think a lot of people are going to go nuts with this Naito shit. And I've been wanting to bring it to the table forever. Like, they got to let that shit go. Like, it's just not clicking right now. And they might have missed the window. And that's okay because they still did record business in the meantime. And I think ultimately he's at the right level. If they don't go with him, if they go with Ibushi, I don't think it's this tragedy. I don't think it's anything like that because I don't know. The G1 has a little bit different feel this year because, the guys that I came into the G1 rooting really heavily for were Will Ospreay and Tomohiro Ishii, obviously. And who were the best wrestlers in the G1? Well, probably Will Ospreay and Tomohiro Ishii. And they're nowhere near, like, the decision or whatever. And then when I look at Naito, it's like, so on what planet should he be achieving over Ishii? That's a whole nother conversation. But I'm thinking we're getting another Ibushi Naito, protect your neck special for the G1 finals.
Oh man, I never want to see this match again, and it might be upon us. And that was the thing that I thought was kind of a dark cloud hanging over G1 from the get-go. Was thinking, okay, these guys are in opposite blocks. These are the 2 most likely winners of the G1. So they're set up perfectly to fight literally to the death to end up in the Tokyo Dome main event. And, when Naito started out 1-3, I was like, okay, 1 and 2, I thought he's going to go on a run, much like when Jay went on the run from 03. But Ibushi with the injury, I thought, Kenta started out so strong. I thought, maybe, they kind of just, and also the fact that Ibushi was in the same block as Okada, it was like, they haven't really done that match like that to the same way they've done Naito and Okada to death. So maybe they just say, all right, we're going to have their match right here. You win, we'll have, we'll do something. We'll have the match, but that's it. Nope. It's right back. It's right back, and it's going to happen, and someone's going to fucking kill themselves to main event. So, yay. All right, as far as the B block, there are each block has 10 people. 6 of them in the last night are still alive. This is, I was saying to Tom before Rich came on, like this is like one of those muck of a bad year in NFL where like a 7-9 team has a chance to get in on like the last week. So yeah, Yano's still alive. If you go by, I'm just gonna go through it. Yano's still alive. Ishii's still alive. Sorry.
I was gonna say it's like the playoff race. Like when they put the graphic on the screen, they'd be like 3 and 6 still eligible for the playoffs.
Yeah. Like what I want to say it was like the 2000. What year did Shaq end up in Phoenix the first year? Was that 2000? 2008.
2008.
Yeah, because Amari ended up getting hurt in his eye that year, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so that was like the year when like a team won 50 games and missed the playoffs. So it was like that. It's kind of like that. It's like between Yano and Ishii and Jay White and Naito and Moxley and Goto, and Goto's at the top. All he has to do is win and get in. He controls his own destiny, which means he's gonna take that L. So, I'm trying to look at the last week. I'm trying to figure out who. I know that the last night is Naito and Jay White, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I can't.
And then you got Moxley, Robinson,
Goto, Shingo.
That's right. Goto and Shingo.
Yeah, and Yano is facing Jeff Cobb.
Yeah. Goto's facing Jeff Cobb. So, like, this is where we finally give Jeff Cobb, something.
No, Yano's facing Jeff Cobb.
Oh, Yano. Wow. Wow. Okay, so Jeff Cobb might lose Yano. So never mind. Okay. Okay, I have it now.
Look, so is someone gonna have to spoil Yano?
No, because Yano's dead last. He's 6 of the people still alive.
But he has a tiebreaker on like White, Moxley, and Naito.
Yeah, but he doesn't have one on Goto, right?
He beat Goto too.
Jesus Christ.
It's happening. Yano for the G1 finals.
Bro, Yano, the G1 final. Unbelievable.
Just speak it into
Gato, light years ahead.
Galaxy Brain Gato.
Maybe it was a mistake doing this preview. This is awful. Okay, so he has so many tiebreakers over people. Like, it's just ridiculous. Okay, I can't even. I'm just gonna give you scenarios on what people have to do to win their block, B block.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, I think Goto just has to. Goto has a tiebreaker over Jay White and Moxley. He has 10 points, right? So I think he just has to win and get in. Moxley has 10 points as well, just like Naito and Jay White. Moxley has a tiebreaker over Naito. Jay White has a tiebreaker over Moxley. And then Naito is just like hoping for help, right? And then Ishii's at 8. He needs a bunch of help. And then Toru Yano's at 8. He needs a bunch of help as well. I mean, it really ultimately comes down to me, I think, is going to be Moxley versus Juice, and if Juice gets his win back from the Best Super Juniors final show, and then obviously White versus Naito. So, what are you guys looking for out of White versus Naito? Because that's a lot of pressure for guys that like to not have good matches when they're really asked to have good matches at certain times, sometimes.
Yeah. You go ahead, Tom.
I don't want to answer.
Rich wants no part of this one. I don't know. I mean, it would be a very Jay White thing to do to win this. I guess that's my best. That's my best logic here. Like, it would just be very consistent with what everyone wants versus what happens with Jay White.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe 3 minutes ago I heard Toru Yano mentioned in the same couple of sentences with Shaq. So I'm hoping that we're going to get some wild results on this last night. I think there is still an outside chance that the true ace of New Japan wins this. But as far as White versus Naito, I don't know. I think I'm going to say they hold off. No. I think Naito wins it.
Yeah, I'm going chalk too. I think Naito wins. I definitely don't think it's out of the realm for Jay White to win and then eventually challenge for the white belt. Literally. And you do a G1 final with Ibushi and Jay White, and you tell Ibushi to be like, all right, here's a challenge. Go out there with him. But I think White and Naito have been like we heard this year was going to be different with Jay White, right? Yeah. I don't know. I still don't see it like as far as like as compared to last year in the G1, right? Mm-hmm. And then y'all know how I feel about Naito. Like, I think he's breaking down, and I don't think he's like an every night dude like that anymore. And that's fine, but we don't have to pretend to have to give in to, like, either they're a global company or they're not. Mm-hmm. If they want to just be the Japanese company that their fans go so crazy for, and he's so popular within the country, which he is, right? But when we start lining up all these dudes next to each other, and you're going to have a real hard time convincing me that this has been the most impressive performer at this time. And I don't think he has half the momentum that Jon Moxley has. And if it was my G1, Jon Moxley would be winning.
I guess it's a good thing to have Josh on here, right?
Oh yeah. I'm rooting for Moxley to win so his head can explode.
Oh man, I had a conversation with him over the weekend. I was like, yeah, man, like I get some of your points, but I feel like they're like a step or two too much. But yeah, like he was so upset about the Shingo thing, and at the time I was like. He's like, Jeremy said, he is a, he's not officially a heavyweight yet, but he just ate him up in the whole match. And I was like, I hadn't watched the match yet. I watched the match
that
today.
Sounds familiar.
But here's the thing. I watched the match today, and I was like, he didn't eat him up. He had a back and forth match with him, and then, like, Moxley just won at the end. Like, I mean, it wasn't like the epic back and forth. Like, Moxley had more control. Probably it was like a 60-40 match, but it was a 60-40 match. He made it to me come off like he was, like 75-25. Like, nah. But yeah, I don't know my scenario. I think that at this point for me, I think that Naito's going to win, and it's going to be the, let's drop each other on our heads and let's try to kill each other in the final. So is that what pretty much everybody think is going to happen at this point?
That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, that's the most likely outcome in my head. The only more scary outcome I can see is them holding off on another Naito Ibushi match for the Dome, but please don't do that. No. Please do not give them a bigger stage to have a match on.
Yeah,
don't give Naito Ibushi more reason to fall out.
Bro, they would have been like, yeah, so this whole year, like, we gave y'all MSG, we let y'all go to Osaka, Budokan Hall, and now we're going to finish it up in the Dome. Yeah. Double death match.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. A double death match, except the death is literal. It's not just a term. Okay, so...
Last match.
Yeah. So Tom Rich said that he would have liked for Moxie to win this block. Who would you like to see win this if it were up to you? If you had the book.
If it were up to me, either Moxley or Ishii. I mean, those are the two that I've had the most fun watching this entire tournament. Yeah. I don't think that comes as a surprise to anybody, but right. I mean, of that four that's at the top right now, it's Moxley. Like I don't know, he's just got such a unique feel about him that no one in this block really has. And obviously there's the cloud of, he's got a TV contract in October. But yeah, in an ideal world, I would like to see him in the finals of the G1.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And we get to find out, what it is with no time limit, and everything like that. But yeah, Tomohiro Ishii, like, it goes without saying, like, I feel like people say it every year. It's like, you look up and then you look what this guy's put on the board, and you really got to ask who's really fucking with him. I don't care when it is. He needs to win the IWGP title at some point. I'm like, I haven't been like behind something like this in ages. Like, I felt like Dan Bryan had to win the championship at WrestleMania 30. Tomohiro Ishii needs to win the IWGP championship, and this is not the gimmick that I've been running. The last couple of months on the show, where I say Ishii's gonna win every single match. This dude went out there and backed up everything I hyped him up to be. He is it. He lives it, and he's been it.
Okay, so far this G1, I mean, there's still one more match, maybe possibly two. How will you compare Ishii's G1 this year to last year at G1 28?
Two sides of the same coin.
I'm saying, like, obviously we're splitting hairs. Do you think that one was slightly better than the other? That's kind of where I'm.
I think the overall block was better, and he had better opponents last year, so right. I'll lean towards last year.
Okay, yeah.
But I think his performance with lesser opponents this year
was more impressive. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think he's had a match that reached the peak that him versus Ibushi last year reached.
Or him versus Omega. Yeah. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps up New Japan, right?
Yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah. I mean, I will.
All right, Gato, what's gonna happen, bro? Don't fault with us.
Okay, yeah. So,
Jay White's gonna win, isn't he?
I will have a flight to Tokyo. Hey, you Gato, bro?
Okay, so moving on from there, we're gonna talk about WWE. The developmental system, the third brand, the yellow brand, NXT Takeover Toronto. They're not calling it Toronto 2. It's Toronto again. So
it's called Blacklist, I thought.
What?
Like NXT Takeover Blacklist.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, what?
I thought I saw that on Twitter, like NXT Takeover Blacklist.
When did they change the name of that? Like today?
I thought I saw something on Twitter about it.
Hold on. I could have swore from all the graphics I've seen lately that it's NXT Toronto. And there's no 2, even though they did this Survivor Series 2016. Yeah, it's Toronto. It's still Toronto. That. It's Toronto.
Okay. Yeah. It must have been something.
Yeah.
Someone might have made.
Yeah. Got.
Yeah.
The fake internet. Okay. So, yeah. We've been talking about it like a little bit lately and a little bit back and forth about recently since WrestleMania weekend about like how the vibe and the feel around NXT is a little different. Like the stuff's still good, but it's not great like it was all throughout last year or parts of 2017 or really any of the point. So just looking at this card up and down, like what do you guys think are the biggest issues with this card as far as it feeling flat or just not the energy? Why do you think the energy's out of the kind of leaving them?
Rich, you want to start with that one, or you want
sure?
To...
This has kind of been like something I've been talking about, but all these people are long in the tooth in NXT. Like Adam Cole's debut was 2 years ago, literally.
2-year anniversary. Yep.
2-year anniversary. I really feel like the third fall stipulation should be like loser leaves NXT. Like, one of y'all got to go, and, Shayna's been around forever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think the feeling around NXT is people are really seeing what it is, because they're like, all right, you got the main roster being what it is. You can help that instantly by promoting these people, but people are really starting to figure out what NXT is. And then, all the people that have asked for their releases, like, they weren't NXT people, but I feel like it's only so long before those contracts start coming due, like an Adam Cole next summer, possibly, if he was on that old 3-year deal schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that seeped into the fans. And then you made a good point, James, like with the injury. So I won't, squash everything you got to say there. But yeah, like, I mean, Cole and Gargano is going to be great. I don't see, any reason to like I'll watch those two wrestle like 10 more times. Like, I don't care about that personally, but it's not just about me. It's just like I'm feeling like NXT is going to get counted on so much to be like WWE's battle weapon essentially against AEW, especially towards the end of the year, right? Where they're going to make people choose between AEW and NXT that don't necessarily want to make that choice, because like they like both what they stand for, but I think they're going to poison what NXT is really stood for by, the supposed changes, the going live, the putting on national television, the sending main roster people there, like in weird situations, like to where like a Roman Reigns shows up. Like it's just not going to be the same. And, NXT's been so great for so long, especially between last year and going into Brooklyn this year and rolling over to 25. I'll say that. That is just like, there are eras, like there are peaks, there are valleys, and this group has been like more than deserving to go up to the next level. And I think fans want them to go to that next level and are tired of having to get excited about something that ultimately doesn't matter, because when we watch the main shows, this none of this stuff exists anymore. And it's just like, what are we really watching? This is a fake promotion, like, essentially.
Yeah.
Like there are no accomplishments to be had. Like there are no legacies to be like the legacies are self-contained within NXT. And it's like, what does it all really mean? Especially when now, like they're using them as a battle weapon against promotion that is going to make everything mean something. I think they're in loads of trouble. Like, and they're only, I'm going long here, but I think they're only like making the problem worse, because they're like, look at the breakout tournament they just had. It's like they've got all those dudes that were on the Largo loop or whatever, and those are like the indie names of like their class. They're not even getting their chance. Keith Lee hasn't had a takeover match,
right?
And it's like, I don't know. I'm very down on NXT, like just as a concept. Mm-hmm. Nothing to do with the wrestlers. Love the wrestlers. I think those, the matches and the shows, there's nothing more that I enjoy than watching NXT takeovers. And it's just like quality wrestling wise, like that's what it is. Like the last one was just like perfection. The last two were like perfection, but it's like there are so many things that exist with this promotion where it's just bullshit.
Right. Tom, you got any thoughts on that?
I mean, Rich put it really well. I'm, I guess, going to draw a slightly odd analogy. Have you guys seen Batman Begins?
Oh my God! Is that the Batman
That's the
Begins?
first one in the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
Oh yeah. I was thinking, like, when you said Batman Begins, I was thinking, like, wait, is that like the Schumacher ones or what? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there's basically like this one monologue in that where Ra's al Ghul is talking about, like every civilization reaches its like decadent stage where it needs its downfall, and Gotham has become too powerful for its own good.
And too corrupt and too evil because he's a nihilist,
Yes, and while I don't have the nihilistic view of it, I do think to an extent we're seeing NXT come out of this really incredible run with that sort of halftime heat crew running the top of the card.
That top six,
Yeah.
The NXT 6, if you will.
Yeah, just an incredible, like, run of putting on fantastic wrestling, and almost like a hangover from that, where it's like, okay, we're getting to that point where that generation of NXT should have moved up to the main roster and started doing Raw and SmackDown stuff by now. But for whatever reason, they just haven't. And now it just feels kind of disjointed. I mean, even if you look at the tag team match from this card, perfect example, like both of those teams feel like they should be having their last NXT matches soon-ish. And yet, for whatever reason, it's, okay, yeah, Street Profits just got their run started. They'll probably stay on NXT for a while. Like, I don't see them calling up Undisputed Era in the near future. So it's just, it feels like NXT is just caught between gears right now. And like, with all the talent they have, you can't really just talent that away, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You know, they're talking about the globalization of NXT or local globalization, where they already have the UK. They're dipping they're going to look to dip their toe into Japan and Latin America at a certain point, or even South America. I'm not sure which one or the other. So India, of course. So
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that too. So with that going on, you think, all right, some of these people eventually, because they need people to be in these places that can be a liaison between, the domestic offices of WWE or branches or whatever else, and, where they are on the ground. You think that, like, some of these people are going to do, like, the Cassius Ohno, where all of a sudden he's in NXT UK doing stuff, working with people, trying to set stuff up, and you see Johnny Gargano, all of a sudden he's in Japan, or you see, possibly Adam Cole or Tommaso Ciampa, he's in Latin America, and he's supposed in, that's kind of the deal. But because they're slow to doing this stuff, because they're only reactionary, they're not actually doing this out of the sake of, trying to put on good wrestling and get people to watch and blah, 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 or do business the right way. They're just trying to monopolize globally. They're only as motivated as the next person that's trying to do a World of Sports or an AEW or what have you, or, try to get a marketplace in Japan to try to take some of that talent away so that they can stop having these great shows with all this great talent, doing Dominions and Wrestle Kingdoms, and is getting them buys on the network in America. Like, that's all this is for. So because that's so slow right now, we have this issue where Shayna, she was in 2017 Mae Young Classic, so that was August 2017. She's been with the company ever since. You look at Johnny was in the Cruiserweight Classic 2016, summer 2016, right? Ciampa, same thing.
James, Johnny was there at NXT Takeover Respect in 2015 with Ciampa. We were there.
Oh, wow, James. That's right. You're right. Jesus. Yeah, because that's right, because they did Dusty Rhodes tag team classic.
Yeah,
right.
and when they had those half and half contracts.
Yeah. So you have that to look at. Velveteen's been around doing the Tough Enough thing when Mandy Rose is there too, and he's still around. And you look around and, like, just the thought of, just you think of that, and then you're not even looking from the perspective of, let's not even think about that part. Let's think about, all right, you're a fan. I alluded to the NXT 6 as a takeoff of the SmackDown 6 from the mid 2000s, early 2000s. So the halftime Heat Squad, right? So before Riddle came in, the person that was at 6th spot or whatever, before he jumped to that level, you had Pete Dunne assuming that role when he was here last summer, and now he's back this summer as well. But it was always 6 people that at any point in time could have had the credibility and was over with the crowd to be the champion / top star between Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, and then you throw in Riddle succeeding Dunne after Dunne left. So you look at the cycle of what we went through from over this last year, from Brooklyn 3 to where we are now at this Toronto show, and oh man, like Ciampa's gone because his neck. Who knows when he'll be back? Could be back in 3 months. Could have been back in a year. Who knows? Gargano, he's right now. He didn't wrestle a single match on this TV cycle at all between takeovers. There's something going on with him. People alluded that it was maybe knees or something like that, but we don't know. But we know he ain't been wrestling, and that's not normal. Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream, both apiece had one match on this whole entire cycle, right? So then you throw in no Ricochet, no Aleister Black. So where are these top guys that we had stocked full of? And that's part of the thing is like, I'm sure some of it, who knows what this chicken or the egg between the breakout tournament. Maybe it was a situation like, dude, we got these dudes injured, and we have, if you throw in Dijak as far as injury stuff too, we don't have much of a roster to be able to do tapings. Let's just paper this over by putting a bunch of guys that haven't been in front of this crowd and have them go through this 8-man tournament. And the tournament was good, but the problem with the tournament was only 2 people really got over. Because nobody knew who these people were really. Like ACH got himself over just by sheer athleticism and incredible facials and charisma. Angel Garza, I remember the first time I saw him at I think it was a Tampa house show. I was like, that dude's a star. And then sure enough, his first 2 matches is like, that dude is beloved by this crowd in a kind of Velveteen type of way where he's a heel, but we don't give a damn about that dude. That dude's awesome. And then you have, the Jonah Rock Bronson Reed, the name formerly known as Jonah Rock Bronson Reed. You have the Dexter Lumis dude who's a cannibal baby running that gimmick. Cameron Grimes, who was Trevor Lee working the Indies and the Carolinas, and it's like the matches are good, but they're not like the level they were on TV. There were no Ricochet Pete Dunne matches on this takeover cycle. Like probably the best match we had was probably the heel turn match on the cage match between Io and Shayna. And then like you go back and just to move on from there to the women's division side of it, like they finally built up. Yeah, like they finally built up an actual division for the first time around Shayna. But the thing is, like, Shayna needs to go. She should have been gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're selling the Mia Shayna feud on, she injured Jessamine and Marina, so you, the fans that have been watching her over these last 7 title defenses or 7 title matches that Shayna's been in, we're telling you now that, like, she might not cheat for the 6th time in the 8th title match with outside interference. It's like, that in itself is like, maybe you should never have done it this much, gone to the well this often. Maybe she shouldn't be around as much if this is all she's going to be doing now. So, who knows what happens? I'm not going to believe that, like, neither one of them going to run in, because the last 7 matches have been 5 of them have been run-ins, right? So, what the fuck?
What's going to change now?
Right, exactly. Like, you telling me it's different, but what the hell is different? Like, the full genuine. So, I mean, you have that, and it just a few things fell through the cracks because of injuries, like the Dijak thing. Dijak was supposed to fight Velveteen at TakeOver 25. It fell through because of injury. Who knows when he'll be back? But then you look at the tag division, like you mentioned, like Undisputed and Street Profits are just overqualified. They should have been up, right? And then you see that, like, okay, so after TakeOver New York, War Raiders beat Ricochet and Aleister Black. These 2 guys that were all-time great NXTers that were a tag team, won the Dusty Rhodes Classic, were a tag team on the main roster. Looked like they were destined to be like this great set of tag team future tag team champs that didn't work out. But then immediately after that, the very same fucking weekend, they put them on the main roster, and now they're doing nothing. Even though they were the freshest act amongst everybody on the main roster. On the NXT roster.
And they couldn't do a job to the people that they were going to succeed them. So
and
that only makes it look lame.
Oh, it's even worse when you remember that, like, the team that they couldn't put over, they immediately put them on the main roster too.
Right.
Like, you know, we're
something
talking
going
about,
on.
Yeah, something's going between. I mean, at first, from the cycle that went from New York to 25, I thought, look, a lot of stuff went left because of call ups and whatnot. And I can't blame AAA for this. This cycle, there's still some ramifications from that, but there's also, you know, this breakout thing of just like, y'all, I don't know, man. This wasn't the best idea for this cycle, and it's killed, and like it's killed their some of their heat that they had as far as them being such a fun show to watch every single week. And that's no fault against the new guys. It's just like, I mean, you can't get 8 new guys over all at once. You just can't. What was I going to say from there? Oh, and then like you look at the EO and the Candice thing, and it's like you look at it and you think of how fast they made Candice a friend of EO, and you're like, and you remember, and for me, I remember that video package with the new show open for NXT like right after New York, and Kyrie was all on that thing. Just like everyone else was that was still there. So it makes me think like they were planning on doing EO Kyrie at some point, and they brought up Kyrie for no fucking reason whatsoever, and they just slotted Candice into that role. And good for Candice, because Candice has been around for 2 years. She was in the first Mae Young Classic. She got eliminated by Shayna in a very, very good fucking match, and they never did much of anything with her except for being Johnny's wife. And that fucking sucked, because she's a very, very fucking good wrestler. And now she gets the opportunity to wrestle one of the best wrestlers in the world on Saturday. And even though people think they're going to have a 2 3/4 star match.
Shoot, I might have to make some money. I might have to find my way to those European gambling sites and lay 100 down.
Yeah, Tom. Some of the gambling sites set over/under for star ratings for some of the WWE weekend shows, and they set EO versus Candice at 2 3/4 stars.
You're kidding, right?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna pay my rent for this month.
I'm telling you, I might have to lay down like, you know, at least a dub on it.
Bet the kingdom on the over.
Yeah, it's like,
what kind of odds can I get on this?
Yeah, like in my mind, I was debating what's more likely for them to have. Was it more likely for them to have like 4 3/4 or 2 3/4? And I'm still like caught in between on which one's more likely for them to have. But that just lets you know how ridiculous like under 3 stars is for those two. Yeah, so I mean, it's just I mean, going through the card, you look at the Johnny thing and the Cole thing, and I thought they did good work with the Bebe World Tour, where he's getting all this heat on Johnny. He's like, I'm doing the tours that they wouldn't have seen you on because I'm a hotter act than you. And then he goes to Johnny's family pizzeria, and then he buys the pizza. He puts his picture up on the wall of fame or whatever else. He goes to Johnny's training ground and tells all the people that were inspired by Johnny that like all that stuff's a load of crap that Johnny's been telling you. That's why I have his belt. It's me right here. And then the Antoine dude,
Antoine Tucker should be in the title match. so and I thought the whole thing was like the whole thing of, all right, like, you want to play those games? I'm finna beat you mercifully, and then ask for it, and then get this third match. And I thought I enjoyed that, but it's like, okay, so they had a 2 out of 3 falls match the first time around. Then they had a regular match, and so now basically what they're gonna do is have another 2 out of 3 falls match, and it's basically turned this whole entire thing to a best of 7. Maybe the greatest best of 7 ever, but it's turned into a best of 7, and
I mean, it just feels like with Takeover being, 5 of them a year that I don't know how good the program could possibly be for you to do 3 in a row of any matchup these days. I mean, we kind of learned this from Johnny and Tommaso last year.
Yeah. This got to be it. Like, this is the one. Like, either they got to, I think it's a street fight first fall, second fall regular rules.
No. Johnny picked street fight. Cole picked regular rules match because he won a regular rules match against
Smart
Johnny.
Man.
And then the third fall will be up to Regal. Like, they haven't said what order it is. If I think it would be really, really dumb for them to do a street fight and then a regular fight, the regular match. So I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna do regular rules, and then obviously they're gonna have Johnny go fight from underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another 2 out of 3 falls match.
Right. Except this one is like not 3 stages of hell, but like 3 different stipulations.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah. They're gonna go like 45 minutes.
Yeah. This is long.
Like, have they gone under 30 minutes yet in a match? Those
I think
two?
last match they went 35 for 1 fall.
Yeah.
They might. What if Johnny and Adam just wrestle all the way until SummerSlam?
Can they just stay in the ring so SummerSlam can't start?
I mean,
bruh, you seen the SummerSlam over and unders I sent you.
Oh, I glanced at them. You didn't have anything over 4, right? I think the highest thing you had was Ricochet and AJ at 3 3/4, right?
Correct.
Wow. I'd have to go through it again and look, but it's like,
so
that's.
I'll read them off just for shits and giggles. So I have 10 matches that are listed on Wiki. So I've got Brock and Seth. I've got that at 3.25.
Okay,
that's the over under.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing in his head, not like what the gambling public.
Okay.
Is doing. He's
Yeah.
doing what he thinks it is.
Okay.
So Becky Lynch and Natalya 3, Bayley and Ember Moon 3.25, Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton 3, Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens 2.75.
What? That's way too high. It's a regular match, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way too high.
Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt 2.5, AJ Styles and Ricochet 3.75, Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler 1, Trish and Charlotte 2.5.
Should that even count the Ricochet? Or sorry, the Goldberg match? It's gonna go. That's gonna be one of those not rated because it's gonna be too short.
Look,
it's gonna go like less than 2 minutes.
I had to bring out the fun scale.
Okay, what was the match after that? I think that was Charlotte and
Trish and Charlotte. I got that at 2.5.
I think that's way too low.
And then Drew Gulak and Oney Lorcan 3.25, and no one in the building will care.
Time out. They made the card.
I believe so.
I think Oney won a match this week, didn't he?
Yeah.
Andrade and Ray can't make the show. Aleister Black and Sami Zayn can't make the show.
Correct.
But they're putting the cruiserweights on there, and no one watches the cruiserweights.
Right.
Okay. What was your over-under for that again?
3.25.
And that's Gulak versus who?
Oney Lorcan.
Oh, that's going to be way over that. I mean, if they give him 10 minutes, they'll go over that.
That might be the only one I would pick the over on this whole list.
Oh, wow.
Damn. Confidently.
No. Oh, I'm definitely confident over the Charlotte and Trish. They don't go out there and embarrass those two. They never do that.
Yeah.
And especially like Trish don't ever embarrass herself, like unless it's written in the script.
Or like a dog.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. So what else is on the Takeover show?
Okay, let's see.
Do we know what the pre-show matches will be?
We know
that's probably gonna be Riddle, right?
We know one of them. We would
Riddle
assume
versus,
that one.
Killian Dane.
Yeah. We're assuming that's one that's not announced, but the one that's for sure is announced is on the pre-show is going to be oh man, Cutler and Blake from the Forgotten Sons versus Breezango.
Shoot me.
Now,
oh Lord.
have you seen Did you
this
see Breezango?
this looks like 2014 NXT right there.
Well, yeah, because Blake been around forever.
Look, and Breeze.
NXT.
Yep. Yeah. So with so do y'all see what Fandango looked like?
Right, ain't he like wearing jeans or something?
Yeah,
He's wearing a beater, jeans, and a black jacket. Like he's dressed like 2000.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, he's dressed like Ambrose. Yep. But I was gonna say that you notice how he's leaned out some, like he's lost some bulk. I don't know if that's a thing where whatever he was injured with, like he wasn't able to weight train or whatever else or keep weight, but like he's small.
Didn't he have a shoulder deal?
I don't know. I just know he looks smaller.
I'm not sure. If you're hearing the show and you know what happened to Fandango, please let us know.
Yeah, like he looks skinny, and I don't mean in no bad way. Just like it was just like noticeable. Like wow, he's lost looks like 10, 15 pounds of muscle. So yeah, that's the card. I think it's gonna be another kick. Look, now we talked about our feelings about NXT and this cycle and some of the larger problematic issues with NXT. As far as just being a place to stash talent and hoard talent. But anybody think this won't be the best show this weekend that we watch? Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Never.
I mean, like,
NXT.
You got to think about the G1 final show that day, but yeah, like it's guaranteed that Takeover will be great.
Yeah, it's still guaranteed. Like, still in the bag. Like that same place where we talked about 2 3/4 stars for Io and Candice is the over under. You know what the over under was for Gargano and Gargano and Cole. Don't hold on.
5.
Yes, 5 flat. That's where you. Yes, that's right. So, like, that's what we're talking about. Like, we have all these issues with the TV isn't as good. They're putting these people they're putting a bunch of people that they have to build up all on the show at once right now. The top stars are either injured or not on the show the way they should be right now. The top of the card in the women's division and the tag division and the male singles division are all stale because they've been wrestling each other a bunch already. And yet and still.
About to be flames.
Right. With fire. It's going to be one of the best shows of the year.
Like, if NXT isn't the best show this weekend, it's not going to be because NXT missed. Because NXT will not miss.
Absolutely.
Somebody going to have to go outside themselves.
Okay, so I mean, I don't want people to go through this thing and think like, wow, like James is off NXT. Like, no, that show's going to be incredible. But it's still like watching the TV.
Like, none of it erases the problems that are circling this sub promotion.
Yeah, like for the first time in I don't know, maybe in 2 years, like the first time in 2 years, like it seems like NXT has some issues, but they're still gonna be incredible. So moving on from there, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to move on to Stardom? Do you want to move on to Ring of Honor? They both have pay-per-views this weekend. Shows this weekend.
So let's do Stardom last, right? So we can cue the music up. I'll make sure I get that to you if you don't already got it. I think you got it. Yep. All right. Yeah, drop that in there. But ROH, our buddy John Carroll from Voice of Wrestling wrote a scathing, honest assessment of ROH, and it was called "Please Take Our Market Share." Please check it out. If you guys have, you can just go to voicesofwrestling.com, and it was just like, yo,
summarize it.
Yeah.
Long or the short, they basically said that they gave the game away, by doing all out or all in and helping the Young Bucks and treating themselves like second-class citizens in their partnership with New Japan over the years. As far as you look at Cobb right now. Cobb only has 6 points. G1.
Yeah, and everybody got points in the B block.
Right. Everybody's alive except the one guy from Ring of Honor who was a freaking number 1 contender just a month ago. He's out here getting jobbed out. Like, they have, by them, putting themselves below them as opposed to working in a way to make it seem like an even trade-off. They have opened the door for their fans to become New Japan fans, and they have become New Japan only, or mostly New Japan first fans, in kind of like, oh, Ring of Honor, I'll check it out here and there, but I'm not really watching it in the way that I watch the G1 or the Best Super Juniors or Tag League or what have you. And then on the other end, when the Elite guys, they ran the Sears show last year for All In, that kind of, they didn't know what was on the radar, or pretended to not know, and now they have AEW, and you look like Ring of Honor had his best year in 2018 off the strength of the Elite and the connection to New Japan. They get an Okada here and there, to get an Ishii here and there in 2016 or whatever else, or whoever else came along, Tanahashi, Ibushi, and now all of that's, even they're basically, their last stand is they sold out Madison Square Garden because they had lawyers that would be able to combat against WWE's lawyers, but people were really going to see either the Elite or New Japan, and people over and over on that show showcased to you that they were New Japan fans, not Ring of Honor fans, and now the New Japanners are doing shows without Ring of Honor in America, and they're selling very, very well compared to what Ring of Honor is doing right now when they're struggling to even fill out the front row.
There might be more people on this podcast than tickets sold for the ROH pay-per-view, according to that map that was in that column.
Yeah. So now with the Elite now doing their own thing, and they basically have all their stars just move on, like, it looks like they're in a lot of trouble, and that's more the gist of the thing. And you look at it, and you look at this card for this pay-per-view, and you see, like, okay, they have Caristico, I think they're doing a 6-man tag with Caristico on one side and then the Caveman on the other, and it's like, I'll check it out to see Caveman go out there and try to ruin his fucking knees. Sure. I'll check. I'll be sure to check out that match. I don't know if I'm going to watch it live yet, but I'll be sure to check that out. And I think Gresham and Lethal are tagging against somebody, so yeah, I'll check out some of these matches. But Rush and Dalton Castle do their rematch after that squash in Madison Square Garden, so we'll see whatever Dalton Castle has left out of that back, right? But
is this the Skrull Bandito show, or is that next to that?
I think that's next.
Okay.
Yeah, because well, maybe not, because Villain Enterprises, the PCO and Brody are in a tag match against somebody else. But the main event of this show is going to be the rematch between God and Briscoes.
Okay.
And don't they have another show where it's like Taven's defending the championship against?
Yuck.
Taven's defending the belt against Tracy Williams, I think, or maybe Tracy Williams fighting Shane Taylor. I can't even tell you who the freaking number one contender is for the Ring of Honor title right now is. So hold on, just go ahead and fill for me, and I can.
Yeah. So Matt Taven has not sparked business the last 5 months.
Sure has not.
The Madison Square Taven people, apparently Ring of Honor tried to pull a fast one, and they wanted Taven to close out the Garden, but cooler heads prevailed, and Okada winning the IWGP Championship back was how they went off the air. That would have gone over as a disaster. Fans may have rushed the ring if Okada's match
to close the show.
Right. If Okada's match started before the Ring of Honor ladder match, oh my God, I don't even want to think about what would have happened in that building. Like, as far as like, the resentment was already turned up to 50 for Ring of Honor that night, between the Allure.
Oh my God, I forgot the Allure.
Cass, yes, yeah. Enzo and Cass, and
that match. What was it? The Flip versus Bully match that went a solid 20 minutes for the full angle.
God, yes.
Hughes coming out halfway through to make it a 6-man for some reason.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah, they having Kelly Klein turn babyface in the middle, and having a bad match with Mayu somehow again.
Yeah.
James
What'd he say?
James was sick watching that.
Oh yeah, it's like, look, I understand the business. She's gonna drop the belt. I would have liked for Ring of Honor. I probably would have watched more Ring of Honor if Mayu held the belt, because especially her 2 title matches against in Stardom for the women artist title between like Natsuko Tora and especially against Konami is like those matches, like especially the Konami match, like that's like a 4 1/4 match. Like, can we see that on the mainland? No? Okay. Like,
no, good wrestling is more fun to watch. I don't know why the promotions don't get this. We all seem to be on the same page here.
Ring of Honor used to get that, right?
Yeah.
Between like the Daniel Bryans and the AJ Styles and the, like.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, like Rip Pitino told all them reporters, Bryan Danielson is not walking through that door. Nigel McGuinness is not walking through that door. Samoa Joe is not walking through that door. CM Punk is not walking through that door. Kenny Omega is not walking through that door.
Fair enough, but like they have Flip Gordon.
Jamie Noble.
Can you strap the rocket to Jamie? Or sorry, to Flip, please. Like, can we better utilize Jeff Cobb? Can we make him the champion? Like, guys that are really good, people respect. Like, can we build around that as opposed to this bullshit? Okay, so
you see, James, they haven't been in Ring of Honor for 10 years, like Kenny King and several other corny sounding motherfuckers.
Yeah. So speaking of that, right? So we talked about like what is Marty doing on the show, right?
Yeah.
You want the answer is?
Do I? Or do I want to know?
Do you want to know? Do you really want to know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Not on the card.
No.
Not on the card.
You're kidding me.
I'm going through it. It's the Kingdom versus Villain Enterprise in a tag match. So that's TKO Ryan versus Vinny, and then that's PCO and Brody. Then it's Shane Taylor versus Tracy Williams. That's Dalton Cass versus Rush, like we talked about. Lifeblood is Bandito and Mark Haskins versus Jay Lethal and Gresham, which we talked about.
That's going to be good, probably. But
I would imagine so. Like those 3 great wrestlers at least. So then the 6-man lucha match that we talked about with Carisco and the Caveman. Kelly Klein versus Tasha Steelz. I don't think I've ever seen Tasha Steelz, but Kelly Klein is. I think Kelly Klein isn't hopeless. Like that last match she had at the Best in the World, I thought that like she looked like she is not as bad as I thought she was after not doing anything with Mayu Iwatani, who's one of the best wrestlers in the world. But whatever. Okay, so then Taven in Ring of Honor title is defending it against Alex Shelley. Guys,
rough times.
Guys, who is Alex Shelley? I don't mean that. Look,
okay.
Alex Shelley could be great for all I know. I've never heard of him.
I believe Alex Shelley used to tag team with Kushida.
No, was that Saban and Kushida?
I thought it was Alex Shelley. They were time splitters or something like that.
Oh yeah, they were. He was one of the guys from Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen him before, but I can... Okay, all right.
But yeah, 2019 Alex Shelley against Matt Taven is not exactly a main event that sparks joy.
Yeah, like Alex Shelley has to be like in his mid to
late 30s.
Mid to late 30s,
he can't
right?
be young at this point.
Yeah, like them dudes was around a while ago. Yeah, so then the main
they
event
had TNA matches against the Bucks.
Wow.
Alex Shelley is 36.
Okay, so there you go. So, Madison Square Taven is going to strike again. They have some matches I'm going to check out. I might watch it just out of morbid curiosity on a Friday now that I've given up the hope of trying to catch up in time for the G1. I've been spoiled on these finishes. I'm just going to go through Jeremy's rankings and watch all the over 4-star matches or whatever else or anything else that people suggest to me. But now that I know the layout of everything, I'm good on trying to follow that. So like I'm just going to, wean myself off of cramming wrestling like it's a damn test. So yeah, I mean, Ring of Honor has some stuff worth watching, but I don't think,
That's the frustrating thing. Like they've got pieces in that company.
Absolutely.
They've got a lot of people that could be something, and they are just doing a whole lot of nothing with them.
Damn. Accurate assessment.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want it line, Rich?
Hit the music.
Okay, so same night as the last night of the A block is Korakuen Hall show for Stardom. That is, I think it's gonna be like 11:30. So, but yeah, the main event is the red belt, the top title, B Priestley versus Utami Hayashishita for the red belt. Match being built for like since May. I think it's gonna be a really good match. I don't think it's gonna be the best match on the card. I think it's gonna be the second best match, but I think it's a match that can compete for 4 stars.
Yeah, you already know I'm all in on Big U.
Big U. Ridiculous.
And Big B. This should be excellent.
Yeah.
And I think that I'd be interested to see if B gets any streamers thrown at her this time.
She has a better chance against Utami than she does against Momo. They get streamers. Yeah. They get some love from the crowd. Now, how do I explain this? Tom, Are you someone that's ever watched any Stardom at all?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Well, the best way to explain B is you might know B from being around in like was it What Culture Wrestling at the time?
Yeah. No, I've seen her around.
Yeah. She's kind of one of the more improved wrestlers of the last 12 months or whatever else, and she they gave her a push seemingly out of nowhere, but like she's lived up to the push. It's just it's really hard for Gaijins to get over there, like with getting pushed to the title first and then like kind of showing it but not really, and she's showing it after the fact, so like she's kind of a struggle for her, but like she's been dynamite like this year so far.
Oh my god, breaking news. I will not spoil the finish if you haven't seen it. Dave gave Ishii and Shingo 5.5.
Wow.
Good lord.
Gotta see it.
Yeah. Turning it off and I'm watching this after.
Yep.
Watch that after. Yeah, so versus and on the other side there's Utami Hayashishita. She is a super rookie in the Observer. Last year's Observer Awards, she finished second behind Rousey, even though she debuted at the August 12th show last year. So that's the kind of wrestler she is. She's like 20. She's like 19 or 20. I think she's 20. Yeah. So
I'm getting to the point where really good wrestlers are younger than me now. This is
yeah. Like she started out last year. The story with her is she started out last year like the Korakuen Hall show right before the G1, the 5-star Grand Prix, which is their round robin tournament similar to the G1, except less contestants and a 15-minute time limit. So she made it to the finals and ended up having like a 4 1/4 match against Mayu in the final, and it's got people were like, "Oh, we didn't understand this push," and then she has that match like, "Oh, we get it now." So, her and B are in the same faction. Like Stardom is really based on faction warfare. There's 4 factions. I'm not going to bore you with the names of them, but they're both in the same faction. B won after she defended her title in a June show. She decided to challenge in consecutive Korakuen Hall shows 2 of her teammates. And honestly, I think she's going to beat. She faced one at the last Korakuen show a few weeks ago, and she won. I think she's going to beat Utami, and then Utami and Momo, who is the other person that was in the same faction. I think, honestly, because they're going to be in different blocks, that they're both going to win their blocks, be in the final. Then the winner, they're going to face each other in the final of their round-robin tournament, and then get another title shot at B, and eventually whoever wins is going to actually be the next champion.
Okay.
So that's kind of what they have in store. Or that's what they have they're in the makings. They have that at their potential to potentially do that. And the second match, or the semi-main event, is going to be the white belt. like for some reason every company, every major company has a white belt that is their Intercontinental secondary title. So similar to the same thing with Stardom. Stardom's been doing it too. So that is Arisa Hoshiki versus Jungle Kiona. Me and Rich both have a love for Jungle Kiona by being an Ishii-like sentimental favorite of being this person that has these big, incredible matches, but management probably won't pick them for reasons that they cannot control that involve things like age and aesthetic.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Rich, have you seen any of Jungle's tweets or any of her blog stuff?
The only stuff I've seen is when she's running on the beach at 5:30 a.m. training.
Yes.
Waking up every day, being hungry.
Yeah, so there's two things I wanted to mention. Like, one, you mentioned it, like, she's been out here training, running in the sand like Rocky 3, literally. And then there's another thing that she's been doing is she's been, like, flashing back, talking about, like, every time she's ever had a chance to go a match for the white belt. So she went back to, like, her 2017 match with, like, 2017 match with, like, Yoko Bito, who, and then they also talk about her match against, like, Kyrie and whatever else, talking about, like, I've had these chances, and it's kind of like almost like a career retrospective, talking about, like, you know, I wasn't ready then for this reason, that sort of thing. So that's kind of cool, saying, like, long form storytelling. It's kind of fun, all right, to follow a whole entire character arc, an opportunity, and talk about, like, how it ties into the present, like that, or the relative close future. Like, it's kind of cool. So
yeah.
And then, you know, on the other end, you have Arisa Hoshiki, who's a white belt champion. Her last two defenses have been 2 of the 5 best matches in Stardom this year. I gave both of them 4.5, or I say I gave the last one 4.5. I gave the one before that 4 3/4. So yeah, I think, you know, between Jungle being, you know, one of the best workers in the company, and Arisa apparently being this, you know, almost like rookie Shaq, where she's like just raw, doesn't really know what she's doing yet, but like you put her in there with someone talented, can kind of carry her through the stuff she's not good at. She can go out there and blow it. She's kind of like I guess you say like a Velveteen type or whatever, or like, you know. So yeah, I think they're gonna have another killer match.
Quickly making a big fan in me.
Yeah. I need you to watch some of these 6-woman tags so you can chill the fuck out. but yeah, she I think you know, after these last 2 matches,
I'm here for the greatness.
Hey, you don't want to see the consistency, huh? You don't want to see the consistency. Okay, so yeah, I think the match is gonna be great. I think it's be a top 15 match in Stardom. I don't see why that can't be 4 1/4. And then the debut of Riho. Now, Tom, you're familiar with Riho because she, you know, she's been doing some of the AEW stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on her at all, or specifically, or just like, or is it more or less, you know, you've been thinking more or less like these matches that she's been in?
I mean, I've enjoyed every match I've seen her in.
Okay.
Yeah, no, beyond that, I'll just like see it and be like, oh, that was good. I enjoyed watching that.
Okay.
That's about as much of an opinion as I have formed.
Okay, so she showed up at the last Korakuen show, and she's going to be in this one in a high speed title match. Now, the high speed in Stardom is similar to, or it's kind of a cruiserweight belt, except it's not based on weight. It's about like the style of wrestling. So it's almost like a lucha belt. It's like people that wrestle, that do these matches, like they do a lot of rope running, fast reversals, high paced action, that sort of thing. So yeah,
no longer being contested under Hazuki's rules, I imagine.
It's a 3-way, so it may be. I think it'll keep the spirit of it between, because you gotta remember, like, Starlight Kid, who had plenty of Hazuki's rules matches. Yoniyama, who's the champion, who won under Hazuki's rules, and Riho, who wrestled a lot of high-speed type matches when she was coming up, for even though she's like 21, she's been wrestling for like 9 years or something like that. Ridiculous. Yeah, so I think that Riho's going to win. I don't see any reason why she shouldn't. And then you go from there.
Well, you already know how Rossi get down.
Yeah.
So can you refresh me on can you refresh everybody on Hazuki's rules, James?
Okay. Yes, because I forgot we left Tom in the dark. Hazuki's rules at the time when she won the belt at the last Korakuen of the year last year. It was 3 rules. 1, I'm going to translate them and do the English translation from the Google Translate, and then I'll explain them further. 1, I do not accept fat. So it's basically saying, yes. So she said, so she's like, must not be fat. Like, she doesn't actually follow these rules, but she's just being funny. But it was hilarious at the time.
Okay.
Number 2, it is useless. It is not a 6-pack. Wrestler must have 6-pack in order to participate in to get a title shot. They never followed that, but it's funny because she actually has a 6-pack. And then 3, the only rule she actually enforced at the time was 10-minute time limit.
Okay.
So she was going out here from when she won the title in December until I think she had 7 defenses. So she lost the belt at a show in July. So she went through 7 defenses, and all of them were bangers, and all of them were of under the 10-minute variety. All of them were just dead out sprints. Right, and she's
blurs.
Yeah, just great wrestling. It's not like super high spots. It's just like intense wrestling, great reversals, like great pinfall attempts and all that sort of thing. So this is like just safe wrestling.
Yeah.
So anyway, so those are the 3 top matches. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, you also have the debut of it's Momo, who is going to be taking on a rookie debuting. She's probably going to murder her, except that she's like 5'6". She's tall as hell for Joshis these days.
Bro, how blown would you be if she showed up
and beat Momo?
Like, yes, on some Okada Tanahashi shit. Like, I'm here.
Okay, if she beat Momo when we think that Momo is like almost like it's not a matter of if but when she'll be like the next red belt champion. Like, I think that'd be shocking. But like they gave Utami a huge push. I mean, I think best case scenario is she gets a draw. She goes to a 15-minute time limit, and you're like, oh, look at her, and they build her up over the next year to get her to like the stage that Utami's at right now, where she debuted and got to where she is and gets a title shot in 1 year too. I think that's the best case scenario for her. Otherwise, like, she might just kick the shit out of her for like 5 minutes and then pin her and drop her on her neck and then pin her. But yeah, I think
either way it works for me.
I mean, we haven't seen her this woman yet. Her name is Saya Katamina or something like that. But yeah, she's 5'6". She's like in her early 20s, and she has like a background in dancing and gymnastics. So, I'm assuming Stardom. I'm assuming that Rossi and Kagetsu found them another diamond in the rough.
Yep.
And it's gonna be fun to watch her over the next. It's gonna be fun to watch her over the next like 3, 4, 5, 6 months. See how much where she is now to where she gets to in 6 months, and then like backtrack and look at like all the other women in the main or in WWE. They're just like wasting away, not getting better.
Jesus, Dana Brooke, the main event player. She's doing swanton dives off the top rope.
Hey,
on main event.
I got a question. Where's Lacey Evans?
Vanished with Baron Corbin.
Wow. Okay, so I think we touched all the bases. Anything else we missed from this week? Or is that everything?
I think that's it. I guess the G1 finals, that's going to be Sunday morning. So we'll see what all happens, man.
Yeah. Tom, any overall thoughts over this weekend besides like there's a lot of damn wrestling?
No more thoughts on wrestling. My only thing I would like to update the listeners on is during the recording of this episode, Daniel Jones threw a touchdown, so I am all in on the 2019 New York Giants. I am ready to get hurt again.
I'm ready to get hurt again.
Boy.
Wow.
I hope the Knicks don't win their first game this year.
Oh, man.
RJ Barrett for the Rookie of the Year. My bet is already in.
Oh, man. RJ Barrett about to shoot 25 times a game.
Oh my God! There's
Run it.
Lineups of
Can't shoot it.
Jr., Kevin Knox, and RJ Barrett. Just the all
Can't score if you don't shoot.
Mamba mentality. Knicks 2019.
Hey, and they'll win the fight.
Oh yeah. Bobby Porter's going to scare some other players back to Europe.
Yes. Andrew Luck, not in the league anymore.
Oh man! Wait, what?
Wait, what?
I said Andrew Luck, not in the league anymore.
Oh yeah, I know you talking about. Oh, you're talking about Miritich. You stupid.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, wait, what? Okay, so yeah, that's the end of the show, y'all. Be sure to rate us on whatever app you're using to listen to this. Tell the folks about the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Be sure to check out our friends at Powerslam.tv, the sponsor for this show. If you're a fan of independent pro wrestling, they have over 5,000 hours of footage from all over the world. You can use the code Social Suplex to get your free month's trial. Don't forget to visit ProWrestlingTees.com/Social Suplex to pick up some official Social Suplex Podcast Network merchandise. Be sure to check out the other shows on the network. On Sundays, we have One Nation Radio. On Tuesdays, we have Keepin It Strong Style. On Wednesdays, we have the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Podcast. On every other Wednesday, we have Grown Men Watch This Shit. On Thursdays, Psych. On Fridays, we have Get in the Ring. And on Saturdays, we have All Things Elite. Thanks for listening.